Hello everyone, this is Janessa Mosley with JM Wildlife Ark, today in my cow onesie, and today I would like to show and talk a little bit more about the two females I have that are gravid. This will probably be my last update video before they actually give birth. So today I'm going to talk a little bit more about them, the males they were paired with, post-ovulation shed, about when their due date is. So I wanted to go ahead and give another update video on that. So they are behind me. I'm going to go ahead and step out of the camera so I can show the two females and talk a little bit more about them. So here on the top we have Addie. She is a normal female. I'm not sure what year she is. We actually took her in over half of a year ago. It's been probably close to 8 months. So she was paired with Pancake. Pancake is the sire to my first litter. And Pancake is a 2021 Super Hypo Jungle, 100% het call albino, 66% het blood. He has not been proven out for blood as of yet. I have a couple females I'll be pairing him with once those females are old enough. So this girl here, Addie, she's huge. First off, if you can't tell, she's really, really big. And I actually miscalculated when her due date is. So her last meal was about 3, almost 4 months ago, sometime in August, I believe. And her last shed cycle was in the beginning of September. Unfortunately, I didn't write the date down. That was pretty silly of me. At the time, I didn't think that was her post-ovulation shed, as I had just put Pancake in with her maybe a week or two prior to her shedding. However, the more I look at her, the more I pay attention to her body language. I can tell she's definitely due sooner than Aurora on the bottom. And another way I can tell is, you can see this large mass here. It's starting to work its way down to her tail end. And then you can see this spot, how big it is, and how small her little tail at the end is there. So her cloaca should be about in this area, and that's where the babies will come from. So once females ovulate, when their follicles build those, I call them eggs, when the follicles build those eggs, that's when, typically when breeding season starts, you put a male in there, they mate, and the female can decide whether or not she wants to use the male's sperm to become gravid. So I think in Addie's case, she has been gravid for a while. So her due date is around December 15th. So in the next 2 weeks, I do believe that she will be given birth, if I have that calculated correctly. It's a little hard for me to tell because that was her last shed cycle. She hasn't had another shed since. However, I can definitely tell just by her size and how the mass is working its way down. So hopefully she will be okay and she will have a healthy, beautiful litter. I don't know if she's had any offspring in the past. I don't think so, but I don't know for sure. So stay tuned for her litter. I do believe she's due first within the next couple weeks. And if she's not due in the next couple weeks, then I'm honestly not sure when she's due. Just have to keep an eye on her and keep an eye on her body language. And she's typically very friendly. She's actually puppy dog tame. She just doesn't like to be touched since she's been gravid. So we will go ahead and look here on the bottom at Aurora. And she's not quite as big as Addie. Can definitely tell she's getting bigger. I call this the baby pose, or the baby making pose when they coil themselves up. So Aurora is a 2017 Call Line Sunglow, 100% het PK stripe. And she was paired with a different male this year. She was paired with a male I have named Pochita. He is a 2022 Hypo Blood, 66% het call albino. And the goal with this pairing is to see if the male proves to be het for call albino. And if he's not, then they will at least produce some really nice double het offspring, double het for blood and call albino, being that the father is a visual blood and she is a visual call albino. Well, she's actually a sunglow, which is hypo and call albino. So her last meal was in August, so she hasn't eaten for about 4 months. I prefer not to feed during breeding season, as I don't want the food to cause any type of impaction. They're already working hard building those eggs with the follicles, turning those eggs into babies. That takes up quite a lot of energy and that takes up quite a bit of room. So I prefer not to feed them. It's easier on them. It's easier on the babies. That's just my opinion. So her last meal was sometime in August. Her last shed cycle, which I believe was her post-ovulation shed, was on November 20th. So that makes her due date at the beginning of March. I usually like to give an estimate, so sometime between March and April is when I believe she's due, which my due date is actually March 20th for our baby boy Clayton. So that'll be interesting to see who gives birth first and how all that goes. So that's basically the scoop with these two females. Very excited. So once again, Addie on the top should be due sometime this month, around the middle of December, around December 15th. And then Aurora on the bottom is due sometime early March, I believe around March 5th, if I calculated that correctly, excuse me. So the males are taken out of the enclosures. As you can see, I have some cleaning I need to do in here. I try not to mess with them too much. I try to give them their space. That's why it's not as clean as I would like it to be. So now that the males are out, I do plan on adding substrate. I plan on adding more sphagnum moss. That helps a lot with the humidity. That'll help a lot for when they give birth, for when the babies are here. I do plan on separating the babies. I have plenty of rack space to put them in. So we'll see. We will see. These are the second and third pairings I've done. So if all goes well, I will have 2 more successful litters. Hopefully both the moms are okay. Their health comes first, as that's my priority, is the health and well-being of the animals. So making sure that the females are okay, making sure that they pass all the offspring, or if they have slugs, which what a slug is an unfertilized egg that they pass. When they do give birth, whether they have slugs or don't have slugs, I will go ahead and show an example of what that looks like. I've actually got one slug saved in my freezer from Aurora's first litter, primarily for educational purposes, to show people what they are and what they look like. So this will be the last video I take of these girls, at least of Addie, because I know she's looking pretty close here. Aurora, I may take another video when it gets closer to her time to give birth. So we will see. Everyone stay tuned, stay updated. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate anyone who has followed or supported me on my journey working with the boas. It's been very wonderful working with them. I enjoy working with them quite a lot. So everyone stay tuned. Thank you again for watching. I hope you all have a beautiful and blessed day, or a beautiful and blessed night, or a beautiful and blessed morning, depending on where you're watching from. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye, guys.